I see you. What's up? My name is Matt, aka The Big Green, and I like to make knives. We're just in the middle of a pandemic and I can't work, and I like to make sharp things and have fun. So I kind of set out on this adventure, and it's taken into a lot more of my time and money than I expected it to. But it is a blast, and I'm super excited. Here's something we're gonna work on today a little bit, and I'll show you. So I'm just gonna kind of show you what I do. Enjoy, have fun. So all my equipment is actually like cheap, handed down. Very rare do I have like a Home Depot buy. I also, I'll show you out back, but I built an earthen forge just out of junk I had. I really need to find a good anvil. Would you believe that anvils are so freaking expensive? Golly, I guess they don't ever go bad. So yeah, it stinks. So yeah, my tools, I just organized these into a nice shelf. Oh, I have that little guy. I really need a new sander. This is my backyard. I don't know if it's code, if you're allowed to have like a earthen forge on your property, but hey, I'm a licensed firefighter. So I ran a water line like a really good firefighter should do, and then kind of built a little patio. So yeah, let me get it uncovered. So I literally dug a hole and then took these bricks and stacked them up and built a little in-ground fire pot. And then I put a piece of Schedule 40 pipe and used angle grinder and ground some slots for the air and ran that over with an elbow up. And this is a piece of aluminum tubing that I taped together with aluminum tape. I got some fire cement and some fire caulk and used that to put the bricks together. This is where my anvil goes, so it wedges in those spikes so it doesn't move. Anybody knows of a good anvil or you want to get rid of an anvil, please let me know, because that would be awesome. We're gonna start making knife sheaths. We'll probably start with that today. Going to a store called Tandy. I definitely recommend them if they're in your area or online. Super awesome. There's a great sale on leather right now. This is like a whole side of a cow. Come along for the ride. Alright, so coming from somebody who's kind of just started this, if you're just looking to get going, something I would just want you to think about, we put knife making, and we say making a knife as like one to do, but there's like a million to dos, and each of them takes a certain skill. So what I would say, decide what you want to suck at, and just focus on getting good at parts of the process at a time. Don't try to master everything. Just focus on one little thing, because it gets so frustrating when you put so much time into a blade that you have perfected, and then you totally jack up the handle and the blade just looks awful and doesn't function or feel good. Or when you put so much time into a handle but you have a blade that's warped and it cracks when you go to use it. So what I did is I decided to start with stock removal, which is taking billets of steel, drawing your design and cutting it out. And I really wanted to focus on heat treating, on grinding bevels and really good edges, freehand grinding, because that is another massive skill that's so important. So I really focus on those couple things, and I will get into forging, and that is a huge thing that I want to focus on. I'm getting the right tools and the right setup, and ouch, son of a gun, cut myself. Ha! Love that. Boop. See right there? I'm talking with my hands. I've got a knife in my vise right here that you can't see. Gosh, that would happen to me. Son of a gun. This is one I finished up. It's just a flesh wound. So this is my first 1095 steel. I'm learning this once again, learn how to heat treat, get nice bevels, really sharp bevels. I've been playing with some acid etchings, so it turned out really cool. That's what did this. So my knives are sharp. Get a chance to use my new shop towels. Paper towels doesn't cut it. You need that industrial feel. You need something thick, something that can stand up. Maybe I should just do commercials for shop towels for the rest of my life. So what I normally do is I do lighting, I do concerts, I do events, I do stuff like that, all the stuff that doesn't happen when you have a worldwide pandemic. Everything just kind of shuts down. Really excited to start providing knives for people, and got some really cool ideas on how to commemorate your loved ones and do different things we'll talk about. Son of a gun. You got me good, buddy. That's why I need a sheath. So yeah. What do I say? Choose what you're going to be good at, focus on it, and just know you're going to suck at some parts of it. Don't hold yourself to too high of a standard. That also helps you not spend a ton of money. Like, I always wanted to do really nice knife handles, really nice knife handles, but I literally just went and got a piece of oak from Home Depot, and this is what I just made my own scales for my first couple knives. $5 or $6, I think. It makes some really nice handles. They look great, and they're not as flashy and catchy as what you can buy, but yeah, it's cheap. I could practice on it, and then if they sucked, it didn't matter. You know, my first couple knife blades were actually out of saw blades. Yeah, believe it or not. I still quenched them, I still did all of the whole process through, but I didn't pay $10 for a really thick billet of steel. I did 3. 2 of them survived, 1 of them didn't survive a quench. I did 3 saw blade knives before I moved on to 1095, and now I'm just focusing on 1095 steel, really getting good at that, build that base of skills. You've got to learn how to use your new tools too. Like, there's just so many different factors. It's a process. Have fun with it. Don't get frustrated. Alright, so what I want to knock out is take this shape. This is literally just a shape that was in my mind. I wanted to create a bigger chopper. This is 1095. I believe it's 3/16 steel, yes. So it's got some weight, it's got some heft. I literally just drew this out on the billet and made some changes and did some more profiling while I shaped it and ground it last night. I want to do the bevels today, and I want to get the holes drilled, and I'd really love to get this all the way through quench and heat and temper today. And that way I could finish it, get our handle on tonight. Epoxy can dry overnight so that I can hopefully finish the grind, the bevels tomorrow, and make a sheath if I'm that far. The nice thing is, well, this heat treats, it's got to do 2 2-hour cycles in the oven, which I will tell you about later. Let's grind! Alright, when you're starting to do your bevels and stuff, a couple things you want to start with. Could be wrong. Always have yourself lots of Sharpies, always a good thing to have around. But you want to mark the center, right? You want to find that center of your blade. So what I do is color it with the Sharpie. Alright, beautiful. It's black. You also know that this is 3/16 inch thick. Find our 3/16 inch blade. Start making knives. Don't make excuses. Make knives. 3/16. Alright, so then what we do is we'll hold it, we'll take the bit, and we'll roll the bit, the tip of the bit, all the way down the center of the knife. What that'll do is that'll scrape away some of the black, and you'll see a center line. We'll flip it over and do the other. So even if it's not totally center, it'll give you kind of a valley to shoot for. Now when we do our grinds, we really typically don't want to go more than 80% before quench. Beautiful. One side. Beautiful. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it'll focus, but you can see there's kind of a silver line scratched out. And even if it doesn't, like up here, some of it got a little messed up. But you have a pretty good reference. You have a line to hit for. It's pretty much straight down this center. So that'll help you guide your bevels and know kind of where you are between each side. And yeah. So one of the other things is I like to color in kind of where I want my bevel and what I want it to look like. And that way when I'm grinding, it'll help me keep it even on both sides. But it also kind of gives me a visual where I want it to stop. Now this being a chopper, I'm not going to take it up, try not to take it up too high. Sometimes I mess stuff up and do that. We'll take it up probably about halfway so I can keep as much mass behind that sharp blade for chopping so we don't get chips in it. But I am using ceramic belts, so I'm starting with like a 36 or 40 grit ceramic belt. I'll do all my bevels with that, and then I'll switch and I'll take them up to probably about 120. Let's get grinding. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, taking it about 80%. Can't really see, it went from this down to that. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind 3 1/4-inch holes. I got I'm going to put 1/4-inch brass rod in for my pins, and I've got my Carta handle for it. Do G10 spacers. So I'm going to drill those 3 holes. I want to do this before I do the quench and harden the steel. It's easier on the drill bits. Everything's easier before you quench it. Kind of marked my holes and kind of how my handle is going to fit. I'm going to actually cut this part of my handle. So this will be a skull basher. You know, actually it's just a lanyard hole. The last time I used this drill press was probably when I was a young warthog. When I was a kid for Pinewood Derby cars with my dad in our basement. So the big thing with this, guys, little WD-40, not the greatest lube in the world. She'll get her done. I turned our speed all the way down. Hold it really steady. Take your time with this. I don't want to mess it up because I'm OCD. Alright, we'll clamp it down. This will allow me to put steady pressure on the handle here while giving a little squirty squirt of the WD-40. Alright, it's gonna get loud. 1 down, 2 to go. Now the number of pins you put in your blade, really up to you. Really the epoxy's doing the main sticking. The pins are for that mechanical so it doesn't shear, it just has that solid piece you're pulling against. But also, and I switched, I was using 1/8 inch aluminum. I put brass in. The brass in the handle look really good in a black sheath. Beautiful. Alright, so we have our 3. See how they look. Alright, time for this last lanyard hole here. We are 1 step closer. The holes are drilled. I'm gonna trace the handle out so that way I can also get that prepped so that once it's out of the forge and done with tempering later tonight, I can throw the scales on. We're gonna do that next. Alright, so here, these are my handle scales, and I'm gonna go tan out. They're a little thin, a little thinner than I want for such a big knife like this, so I also got lacquer G10 spacers. So one of these will easily fit me 2 handle scales. See that line right there? That's what kind of the shape I want. So your finger will come around, you'll be able to grab it like that. It'll be nice in your hand, you got plenty of room. A little bit of a butt on the end. I had trouble on the last one seeing my marks, so I got this thing here. Who is smarter, Matt or the marker? The marker is currently in the lead. Alright, Mr. You suck. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to break it. Crap all over my table. Nobody wants that. How to open a marker. How to dye your hair with a marker? That sounds like an awful idea. Now, what are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm really not understanding this. I feel really dumb. Like, exceptionally dumb. I'm grabbing some pliers. I did not follow the manufacturer's plan when they thought about these opening. There you go. I just cut her open. We'll see if she works. It's not working. Waste of money. Sharpie it is. So we got it traced out. Boop. Cut it out. Once I cut them out, it'll be easier to put them on here. I was really hoping to have my white marker for these. So yeah, then I'll trace the cutouts onto these guys. So I mark them so that I know, because we're going green inside, right, left scales. Alright, let's cut these sons of guns out. So actually, before I do anything else, I'm going to go cut me some brass rods so that I have them. So add some nice weight. I think we're ready. We've got our pins done, and then I took them, I rounded them off and flattened them on the belt grinder. But I think it's time to go fire up the old forge. Time to heat treat this blade. So it takes a second to light. Coal fires if you've never actually used real coal. So you need to get it good and hot. That'll give us a base level of heat to work from. Light a fluid. Opa! Alright. Here's this guy. He goes right here like this. Bam, just like that. I also have a couple fire sticks. Just to give you a little peek into the fire process. Woo. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it go, and we'll speed this shot up. I put some fresh coal right at the back here, so that'll start coking up and getting warm as well.